The Insured Zone. The Insured Zone with Bet Insured.
Another wonderful weekend and, of course, interesting game lined up for this weekend, especially from the English Premier League. But then the season is open, the UEFA Champions League and other major competitions are entering into the season already. Yes, it's the Ensure Zone podcast brought to you by Bet Ensure, the biggest and the most reliable sport prediction platform in the world. I am FM Karika, and of course, Akaka is here with me, Kaka.
How are you doing yourself?
Fantastic.
Are you sure you're fantastic? Manchester United.
Of course, and that's a major question. But then, looking at the weekend, a disappointing display from Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. And of course, looking forward into this season, do you think he will succeed at Manchester United?
It's $1 million question. If you want to succeed, you definitely have to have the right ingredients. And I think at this stage, he still does not have everything at his disposal. We can talk about all the transfers that Manchester United have made this summer. At the end of the day, I don't think they've been there for a long period of time. In my opinion, I think I've seen Manchester United play a couple of times this season. And statistics actually do back Manchester United up that they are not that woeful. And I think their major problem is, majority of the time, is taking their chances. A lot of people have been critical of Amorim for his approach, his formation, and all of that. And at the end of the day, you look that Manchester City did not outplay Manchester United. Arsenal did not outplay Manchester United. But the scoreboard, that is where their problem is.
And
I think that is where that is the major issue. Now, how does this solve that? And that is the big question. Can he succeed? I think he could succeed. And I think another issue that he does have is, I think he needs to adapt.
And even I think his application to the games, the positioning of the players.
I think he needs to fix that as well. I think he plays a lot of players. He misprofiled a lot of players as well. And I think that's another major concern.
Of course, that's another major concern. But then, guys, looking forward into the predictions that we have for you. Yes, we dropped some interesting predictions last weekend. Let's check them out. And of course, there are more to come for you. Yes, guys, it's still the Ensure Zone podcast brought to you by Bet Ensure. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also make sure you put on the notification button to get interesting content from us whenever it drops. And go to www.betensure.com to get interesting predictions across all sports. Yes, the UEFA Champions League and many more competitions on www.betensure.com. Now, straight to the games for this weekend. Yes, the first one is the game that is a very massive better team like Arsenal, because I see Arsenal as a better team compared to Manchester City this season, even though Manchester City got a good win over Manchester United, but the Arsenal side look very solid. Arsenal versus Manchester City.
Yeah, at the start of the season, I think I pitched Arsenal to win the league.
Of course.
I still think when we look at squad depth, I still think they have everything. They are ahead of every other team in the league this season, and I still think they are the stronger side.
And this is a game to really
this is probably an early title decider game. And I think at the Emirates, I think I'm fired up for this one. I look forward to this one. This is probably one of the game of the season already, and I think it has every ingredient to be a firecracker. I expect a lot of goals at the end of the day, and I think I see Arsenal having too much for Manchester City.
Of course, Arsenal have been too much for Manchester City. Guys, to the prediction of this game between Arsenal and Manchester City. Arsenal is expected to win or draw this one. Yes, at 1.30 odds. And of course, 2-1, the predicted scoreline. And the expert prediction is second half over 1 at 1.37 odds straight to the next game. Another big one and another test for Ruben Amorim to really, really prove he can manage this Manchester United side against the Chelsea side that is solid and scoring goals, even though they considered a last minute goal in their last game, but then going to Old Trafford against Manchester United.
Yeah, I think a major boost for Chelsea would be the return of Cole Palmer and back on the scoring sheet. I think you probably should have gotten the second one in that match last week as well. But yeah, coming into this one, I think at Old Trafford it's a different ball game, especially when Manchester United play at home. They play quite good against Arsenal, against Burnley. They did quite all right.
But then they weren't getting there.
But they and I think against this Chelsea side, at the back, there are suspects in the defense. And over the last, I think the last time they got a win at Old Trafford was 2013, and that is a long while. And I think, I don't know, Chelsea find it difficult to get wins at Old Trafford, and I think you don't know the Chelsea that's going to turn up. But I think the coming back of Cole Palmer and some of their key players, I think they might just have a little too much. But my instinct just tells me that this might probably end in another draw. And save Ruben Amorim's job again.
Probably end in a draw, guys. That's the prediction of the game between Manchester United and Chelsea from Old Trafford.
Yeah, it is expected to be both teams to score at 1.50 odds, and the expected scoreline is 1-1. 1-1 draw is the expected scoreline, and the expert prediction for this one is away over 1 at 1.36 odds.
And of course, guys, to the Merseyside derby, Liverpool will be at home at the Anfield to play against Everton. Yes, a rejuvenated Everton side coached by David Moyes, someone who really understands the club and is back to, making the club better, really, really performing well. What do you think will happen in this game? Will Everton be a toughest for Liverpool?
Yes, it's a derby. It's a Merseyside derby. Both teams on the pitch, they don't like each other, and that is no news. And over a couple of games, Everton any day, anytime, they would give Liverpool a run for their money. Liverpool against Burnley struggled. I think they were saved again at the death there, and due to probably a brain dead decision by Hannibal there. And the Merseyside derby does not feel too entertaining. I remember the last one at the Goodison Park. I mean, that's one for the ages. Coming into this one again, I think it's going to be it's going to be an amazing watch as well. A rejuvenated Jack Grealish.
Of course, doing all the passes, taking the ball.
Exactly. It looks like he's on top of his game again. And I think Everton would look at that match against Burnley and look at the way Burnley executed that match, and they'll feel like they have a chance to get something at Liverpool. But yeah, Liverpool would be glad to. I think they'll be glad to welcome Isak back into the squad, and I think with that, but I still think Liverpool would definitely have too much for Everton. But might not be a lot of goals in this one, because I think it will be a cagey affair. But I think Liverpool wins this one.
Also, Liverpool expected to win this one according to Kaka. Now, guys, that's the prediction of this game between Liverpool and Everton. Yes, it is predicted that Liverpool will win this at 1.48 odds. That's a pretty high, 1.48 odds. And of course, 1-0 in favor of Liverpool, the expected scoreline, and home win in the house at 1.23 odds for the expert prediction. And straight to the last game we'll be talking about right here, Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspurs this season has proven that they are not the team they were last season, even though they finished last season on a high, and they have brought that into this season.
Yes, I think we all know Thomas Frank. We know his mentality.
Fantastic manager.
Anything he coaches, he would bring that mentality along, and I think he has instilled that into his Tottenham team. Well, last week I wasn't expecting them to dismantle West Ham like that. Well, we could say thanks to the red card, but I think they played really well before the red card as well. And this time at home to Brighton, I mean, away at Brighton again. I mean, these are two teams, expansive two teams that love to have the ball. Two teams that love to score
To
goals.
run and everyone at the defense and fast player.
I think you expect goals in this one. I think both teams they know where the back of the net is, and by the end of the day, I think this ends in a draw for me.
Oh, might probably end in a draw. Brighton versus Tottenham, guys. Let's see the prediction of this game between both sides. Brighton at home against Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yes, we've predicted both teams to score again in this one. Brighton and Tottenham, both teams to score at 1.48 odds. The expected scoreline is 2-2, 2-2 draw in this one, and the expert prediction is over 2 at 1.25 odds.
And of course, guys, straight to the rest of our top picks from the English Premier League, and of course, the bonus picks from the Italian Serie A and the Spanish La Liga. Now, guys, straight to the 20-odd weekend bank out. 1xBet, specially created by our expert right here at Bet Ensure that you don't want to miss this because big wins are always coming out from this. Check it out. Now, guys, of course, it's still the Ensure Zone podcast brought to you by Bet Ensure. And I tell you sincerely, we have the big ones still going on our website, www.betensure.com. That the lucky to have a free predictor where you stand the chance of winning $200. Yes, $200 up for grabs if you can get the 12 predictions correctly. And of course, if you can get 8, 9, 10, 11 predictions correctly, there are still compensations for you. You can only get that on www.betensure.com. And of course, Kaka, looking forward to this game. Which game do you think will really come alive at this weekend?
I expect the Manchester United game to come alive this season.
Manchester United, Chelsea.
Yes, I think this it might not be the last straw for Amorim. It might not be the last straw for him. But
it could probably lead to
exactly. It could smell the beginning of the end for him if he does probably lose all 3 points again in this one. And Chelsea on the other hand as well. I think they want to bounce back from their I think the heartbreak loss at the GT Community Stadium. So I expect firecracker game. And Garnacho going back to Old Trafford as well. I think that is a big...
What kind of reception?
What kind of reception? You know the kind of reception he will get. Exactly. You know the kind of reception he will get. But as a Chelsea fan, I would do anything to see Garnacho score at Old Trafford.
Wow, fantastic. Garnacho predicted to be on the score sheet by Kaka. You want to see Garnacho score, guys? And this is where we're drawing the curtain on the podcast for this weekend. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also follow us on all platforms. Also, www.betensure.com to get interesting predictions across all sports. I am FM Karika, and a big thank you to Kaka for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure always. Of
course, don't forget right here on the Ensure Zone podcast, we don't just predict the future, we ensure it. Bye for now.